Yes, it is true. Your girl is turning 49. And I have learned some key lessons, not only in my personal life, but also in business that I thought I would share with you today. Because I think 49 is a pretty big number in the best way possible. So I'm like, you know what? I was journaling the other day and I come up with some amazing aha moments, realizations, and I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable sharing their age. I never have. I think that getting older is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it is incredible when we can embrace the fact that it's such a blessing to be getting older. So that's what we're talking about today. My name is Catherine Storing. I go by Kat, and I love helping their helpers. If you are someone that you're a coach, you're a healer, you're someone that people always go to because you have the answers, you have the solutions, but then where do you go to recharge? Where do you go to get your tank refilled so you can go back out there and help? Well, you come to me. This is what you do with retreats, with containers that I create for amazing healers and helpers like yourself. That is what I do, and I have created some amazing ways to support you, like my healing card deck, like my retreats welcome gift that I am so excited to incorporate into everything that I do. And one of the things that I have created is a community for people like you and me. And I have an amazing gift for you. It's the 21-day reset. If you have been going and going and going and you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm shot. Like I just don't feel like myself. This 21-day reset is exactly what you need. Click on the link in the description and it'll take you to my school community and you can get it immediately, my gift to you. So back to the lessons that I have learned in 49 years of life. So depending on when you're watching this, I may have already turned 49 or I'm in the process. I celebrate the entire month anyway because I believe it's a big deal that I was born. So many things have to be in alignment. Like my parents had to actually meet. They actually had to get like each other, get married, have a baby, and the baby to live through the pregnancy and then live through all the way through now for me to be here. So I think it's incredible. So I have gone through so many versions of myself. It is amazing how you can live an entire life by allowing yourself the freedom to reinvent yourself, to let go of things and versions of you that no longer serve you, and allow yourself to fumble things a little bit and not get it right all the time. That is so okay with me. I don't like perfection. And I knew that pretty early on. I like to start running before I have all the pieces because I know I'll figure it out on the way. Let me know for you. First of all, if you love your birthday, because your girl loves her birthday. And let me know if you like things, all the dots to be on the row, all your T's dotted, all your T's crossed, and all your I's dotted. Let me know which are you. Or do you just go with the wind? Things will always work out. That's what I always say. Things always work out for me because they do. And I think it's so important to be kind to yourself and have patience with yourself. I had to learn. It took me a while to realize that I don't know everything, and I don't think I've done this before. I don't remember anyway. So I gotta be patient with my process and how I'm learning and how I'm figuring things out. And these are the things that I was writing as I was reminiscing about some things and realizing that a couple years ago, maybe 3-4 years now, I made the decision to take a stop, to take a break, and really look inwards to figure out who I was. And I wanted my life to be different. And when it comes to many different approaches that I take to life, I realized that there were some things that I did not know about myself, why I was doing those things, and I learned why I was doing those things or what actually happened because of the work that I did for myself that I now get to do for others. So let's get right into that. One of the things that I realized is that I had always been taking care of someone, whether it was somebody that was sick, my sister, who I almost every time call almost my daughter because I feel like I raised her. we spend so much time together, and I think I spent so much time trying to keep her out of trouble and alive, because she was like very adventurous, and I feel like I was always taking care of someone, or someone else's feelings, or how they were gonna take something, and I was not taking care of myself. So how can I let someone take care of me if I didn't learn, if I felt like it is my job to take care of the people and I was never on the list, I was always doing? So how can I relax enough to let others take care of me? Like, I didn't even know how to accept that. I had no idea. And I didn't know that until, like, I didn't have the words to that until very recently, and to realize that I could ask for help, that I could actually say, just receive it. Just receive the help. Just receive it. It's in itself, it's incredible for me. It has been life-changing to say I can receive that, which is incredible. One of the other things that I realized, I'm a huge introvert. I always say I'm a very friendly introvert, but I'm an introvert nevertheless. I need to take care of, I need to recharge by myself. Now, on top of being an introvert, I'm also very sensitive to other people's energies, to other people's beings and feelings. So I can feel the people's feelings, and especially like if in a crowd, and I call it peopling. I can people really well. I don't mind peopling. I'm really good at that. But there are moments where when I need to call it a day, and then I recluse. I move, I go away, and I need to not pass go, not collect $200. And that means that I need to be by myself. I need to be quiet. I need to be not touch or ask for things. I need to just collect on everything that has happened. I need to detox. And that doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me avoidant. That makes me someone that needs to recharge. That makes me someone that cannot go from peopling to peopling to peopling. I need to take breaks. And I learned this a while ago, but it wasn't until recently that I realized the deeper reason is because I'm so sensitive to other people, that's why I protect so much where I go and how much time I spend with people. And it was amazing to realize, God, you need to protect that space. You need to protect that reset. And I read a book a while ago where this couple, they were very much in love, and they were doing this, spending so much time together. But they decided very early on that Friday nights was off limits. And I think that's such a brilliant idea, because if you're working all week long, when Friday comes, if you're sensitive and you're an introvert, you might be burned out. You may have nothing in the tank. And then come Saturday morning, after you slept in and you took care of yourself, and you took Friday night to watch your shows, to binge on your favorite food or activity or whatever, then you're refreshed and you're like, okay, I can give you my best version of myself. And again, it's not about like not wanting to be with that person. It's making sure that the best version of yourself, that you bring in the best version of yourself to other people and to yourself. And I'm like, oh my God, had I known that before, I could have made those decisions and could have said, you know what, Fridays, I know that we want to hang out. I know that you probably want to go out with me, and that can be friends. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could just be going out with people. It's realizing I need to reset. And I'm not making myself wrong for that either. It's like, oh my God, Kat, you're so high maintenance. You're so needy, or that's just what I need. And it's not too much. It's just exactly what I need, and it's perfectly okay. Like, I continuously let myself know that what I need, because my needs was another thing that I didn't grow up with, having my needs acknowledged or met. I didn't have that growing up. So I became a people pleaser because I wanted to avoid the anger. I wanted to avoid getting in trouble. So I learned to dismiss my own needs, which is why it was so easy for me to say, I've been peopling for a long time. They really want to hang out, or they really need me to go help them with something. I'm going to say yes to that. Now I will be angry, or I will be exhausted. I will not be my best version of myself, or then I will be completely depleted for days on end. I don't do that anymore. If I people 2 days in a row, you best believe that the third day, your girl is going to rest. And I don't think we as women, as wives in mothers, as I'm a mother, even though my daughter is grown, you always, once a mother, always a mother. We are just taught by society and by so many things that are unsaid that we can keep going and going like the Energizer Bunny, and that is not true. You get to reset. You get to say, I have nothing on the tank right now. I need to go, because if I don't, it's not gonna be pretty, okay? And I've been there myself, so I don't like to get to that point. I don't like to be empty. I love my tank to be 3/4 of the way, 100%. That is incredible. I can handle when it's lower, but I need to know that there's a rest coming up. I need to know that there's a moment where I can get on the off ramp and take care of myself and rest and chill and grab my favorite drinks and here's my drink. Grab my favorite drinks and my snacks and my favorite blanket and curled up and watch my favorite shows and take care of myself, right? So it is so amazing to know, that you can take care of yourself and it's okay. Another thing that I realized that was holding me back from receiving is that if I'm always in survival mode, which I was for a very, very long time, and because not only did I grow up in an environment that was very stressful, very, very stressful, in a place where my needs were not even seen or appreciated or regarded. Then I got married, and I did not marry someone that was a provider, someone that could take care of things. So then I also was taking care of so much. And then I got divorced, and then everything is on top of me, for me to do, right? So it's like, it's been a lifetime of survival mode. How can I drop into my feminine? How can I drop into I need help? How can I drop into I can rest right now? I could just be cute and sexy and excited about just being like la la la. How can I do that if I have, I don't know, 40 years worth of survival? When you're in survival, you cannot bring your best version of yourself. When you're in survival, you are always looking, you're always aware, you're always like anticipating people's needs so you can take care of it, because otherwise there's nobody else to do it. And I didn't know that. And it was just so amazing to realize that I could say to myself, I don't want to be in survival mode anymore. And why I was in survival mode. That's the best part. Why I was in survival mode, how to get out of that, and then how to drop into my feminine, how to be softer and gentler, and knowing when to do that. Because there are moments where I have to go in my masculine, and I take care of stuff like I do. I know how to do that. But most of the time, I'm really enjoying being in the middle, where I can oscillate between being simple and gentle, and I love going with the flow, and whatever happens. But then when things need to get done, I can go into that, but it's not a harsh move. It's something that is a little more, it's a gentler flow. Like I was packaging some of the welcome gifts that I put together for a retreat that somebody just purchased, and I'm shipping everything tomorrow. I'm putting some things together. Usually I have like other products that I'm trying out to include for those woo-woo things, like woo-woo retreats. And I got some extra packaging that's coming, and I'm like, okay, I built in enough time that I can wait. So let me just start with what I have. So I built the packages, and I'm having so much fun. I had a podcast playing in the back, a podcast show playing in the background. I'm taking care of myself. I'm having fun putting all the little things together. I sent an email to my assistant because I needed to print something tomorrow. So then tomorrow, when I get the packaging for the extra little goodies that I'm sending, all I gotta do is grab one of the packaging things, put the samples in, close everything up, and send it to the post office. Before, I would have been a mess. I would have been like rushing and trying to do all the things at the same time, even recording this video. I was gonna record this video a while ago, and I was just not feeling it. And before that, I would have forced myself. Like, what am I, a slave driver? What am I doing? Like, I work for myself. Why on earth would I have to force myself to do anything about one of my favorite things, which is getting older? I love my birthday. So I realized that I was about to bully myself into recording this video. So I said, girl, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna record that video when you're good and ready, when you feel your most malicious. And it was after I finished putting those packages together. The golden envelope is just brings me life. Putting all the little pieces together, I was like, okay, I feel pretty good about this. I can now record this video for you and for me, because me going back with my journal and going back in time and recognizing, oh my God, all that stuff has happened and I'm not there anymore. And I just had to take a moment and realize that one of the things that I love that I'm doing now, that I keep continuous to get better, is to not be so quick to say yes or no. Not to be so quick about many things, to just sit and then check in with myself and like, how do I feel about that? And be vulnerable about that. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Can I take a moment and check in and say, am I okay? Is this okay? Maybe this was okay before, but is that okay with me now? Again, remember at the beginning I said I'm very sensitive, and maybe I'm talking to you. Maybe this is, you're like, Kat, you're describing myself. I had no idea that I have many of these things. And I think for women, especially when you're like a driven, I've been a type A woman because I had to be. I don't think I ever was that if I had not been in that environment or put in those positions. I probably would have been a very chill person because I'm a Taurus. So I would have been a very chill person. I really like going with the flow. Everything is gonna work out. Everything's gonna be all right. I love that. Like that's like my jam. I love that. But I guess this is where we are now, and I'm just leaning more into my sensitivity. I am embracing that version of myself that is so delicate and it's so ready to be pampered and nurtured. But that meant I needed to do all this work. If I want to let somebody in, and that means in business, because I have someone that I might be working with, which I'm very excited about, and there's a lot of collaboration and stuff, and she's very chill as well, which I appreciate. And as a friend, we're not rushing into how we're gonna collaborate. And I think I'll do the same thing when I enter the next relationship, and I am dating right now. So when I meet this person, when I meet him, I'm gonna be like, I want it to be slow. And that's the other thing that I realized, that I've always liked slow. When I get into friendships, I don't rush into it. Like, I want to watch you, I want to see what you're about. I need that. And in relationships in the past, I have let others dictate the speed of the relationship, and that doesn't work for me. And because, again, people pleaser, trying not to hurt people's feelings, because I was so sensitive and my feelings used to get hurt very easily. Maybe sometimes they still do, and that is totally okay. I wouldn't want to say something, I would just go with it, but then they would pay the price, because later I would go all Taurus on them, and then it would not be pretty. Like, I know me, I have a temper, I am Latin, and I was born in May. Like, that combination is not good. So it's better for me to say no, or say I'd rather do this instead, or I'd rather do that later, or I'd rather not do that at all, than me saying yes and then have an attitude later or at the time, or make them pay for that later. Like, you know what I mean? So it's been incredible for me to know that I get to set the pace, because I like my pace is right for me. I'm not saying it's right for anybody else, but since I'm in the relationship, whatever that relationship is, I'm gonna set the pace with what works for me. And then I think at the end, that's the best for everyone, because I'm slow. I like slow. I need information. I need to watch you. I need to see the consistency. I need to know how I feel in different situations, how you deal or not deal with things. I need to know all those things, and that comes with time. Because, in relationships, and we all do it. We are on our best behavior because we want that person to like us. We want things to work out, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's good to wait until you're a little more settled. You're not on walking on eggshells, and you just relax, and people can see, and then I can make an informed decision. I'm like, okay, this is someone that I can spend some quality time with. This is someone that I probably want to be in a relationship with. And I didn't allow myself to do that. Okay. The other thing that this is a hard one. This was painful for me, but it was so needed. I didn't honor my needs, and then I did not take responsibility for those needs to be met. So I would allow somebody else to disregard my needs, so I would not express my needs, and then allow things to continue, and then I would make it their responsibility. Like, well, you didn't. It was like, well, but you didn't say anything. You're a grown woman, Kat. You gotta say something. You're the sensitive one. You're the one that's feeling the way you're feeling. If you don't express it, it's not their responsibility. You can't control other people. You can control yourself. And I love having the responsibility. So that hit me. And let me know about you. Is that a hard one? I'm responsible for expressing my needs. I am responsible for those needs being met by expressing my desires, by saying, I require this, I need this, and if you cannot provide it, that's fine. I need to get it by myself, or I need to get it somewhere else, but this is a requirement. And I didn't have the words, I didn't have the courage, and I didn't have the discipline to do that. And because I've done the work, I now can, and I continue to get better at this. There's some things that, it's a lifetime now that we're in my last year of 40, which is, I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I love, again, I cannot say this enough. I'm so grateful to be older because I'm doing things that is letting me enjoy life more, where, especially if you grow up in an environment that was very restrictive. I grew up in a very religious environment that was very, very restrictive, and everybody had very strong opinions. And of course, I also have strong opinions, and I think that's perfectly fine. So there are things that go against what I was taught. There are things, and just like nothing bad, it's just a matter of opinion. And I had to learn that it's okay for them to disagree. No babies or puppies will die if you don't agree with how I take care of my body. And I take good care of my body because I'm gonna be around for a long time, God willing. And I want to enjoy life and the way that I eat, what I put in my body, what I don't put in my body. And that's okay for you to disagree, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do what I want to do because I'm a grown woman. This is grown people's business. Like, I am grown, y'all. And I have this plaque that somebody made for me. I had it on a piece of paper, and then they gave me this plaque that says, act like you're an adult, but it's in Spanish, which I love. Demuestra que eres adulta. Listen, I have it right in front of my huge monitor. I love that because I need that. That's why I have some things on my arms and places where I can see it, because sometimes I need the reminder, like surrender. I need that. I need to look at that on the regular, because I need to remember that I'm not alone in the world, that God is here. Okay, whatever you call it, I call it God. God is here, and he takes care of my needs, and I can just say, I need something, I don't have to provide for myself all the time. Again, it's a habit that I'm breaking, and I'm okay with the fact that it's taking me a minute to figure that out, even with the way my business has evolved. Like, I hadn't embraced this all these gifts and talents that I have, and all the things that I have learned, and for me to create spaces for healers to come and get their tank filled up and get some healing themselves so they can go and take care of the people. And for me to say, you know what, I'm a retreat host. I love to travel. I love to travel my whole life. I was traveling before I was traveling. I've been a reader, I think by necessity, for a very long time. So I will borrow these amazing books from far and away places, and I would just go on a trip, on a journey. And I still do that to this day. I can be at a place. I was driving with some friends the other day, and nature just really gets me excited. Nature is where I recharge. Nature is where I find myself. So we were driving, and I'm just seeing this beautiful, oh my God, beautiful landscapes. And I went on a trip, and people were talking, and I was sitting in the back, and I purposely picked the back seat, and the people in the front were talking, and I just went on a trip. And I came back, and they were talking about something. I kind of caught up into what they were talking about, and then I joined the conversation. But I reserve the right to go on a trip whenever I need to, because I can. So the fact that I'm doing international retreats, especially to the Caribbean from the island that I'm from, and being able to share how healing it has been for me, it's a beautiful thing. So the other thing, this is like a really personal one, and it was in when it comes to relationships, in me deciding, making all the decisions, and not involving God in the process, and not saying like, okay, I like this person, they like me back, of course, but what do you think? Is this the person that you have set aside for me? Is this the person? And I'm not saying, I don't think there's one person. I think there's different people, but I think that there are people that are better suited to be able to maximize your gifts and talents, to be able to be your helper, and be able to someone that can be as great a steward, as a serious steward as you are of your gifts and talents. I'm very serious, and I understand that I was put here on purpose, and I am very, very clear that I'm here to help others. And that's why my life has been the way it has been, because I needed to develop the character, the skills, the empathy, the sympathy, the desire to give back and help others. So I need to be with someone that is also a helper, that's also a giver, that's also a provider, someone that delights in taking care of the person they love. And I didn't ask God, and I think I was afraid to ask, because I probably knew. Sometimes I didn't know, but it just never occurred to me. And now it's like, I'm gonna ask those questions. And I'm not saying I'm asking that of everyone, because sometimes it's just going for coffee, sometimes it's just having a conversation. But it's asking him, what do you think? Is this who you promised that you were gonna bring, that you're gonna connect me with? I don't know. So that has been that's been a good one. And another one that I kind of embarrassed to say, but I will be honest and say, is that many times I was not honest about how I was feeling, and that I feel very upset about that. I don't think that was fair to others, but I would not be honest, because I did not have the fortitude to listen to how they will feel about how I felt. Like, I was protecting them, but really, if we're honest, I was protecting myself. I didn't know how to be honest about, I changed my mind, or I'm upset, or I'm sad, or I don't even know how I feel. Can you imagine being able to say, I'm feeling something, it doesn't feel good, but I don't know what it is, and I need a minute. Or I'm upset, or I'm pissed, and I can see your face right now, I'll be back, but I need to figure that out, right? I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to say, I feel this way, and it's not my responsibility. It's not even fair for me to assume how someone is gonna react, because I'm not them. I'm not inside of them to know. I can assume based on past experiences, but that's still not fair, because we're changing every day. I've changed. Like, the person that I was 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a month ago, heck, a week ago, completely different. I'm a completely different person, and I love that for me, because I needed to be. There's some stuff that needed to be taken away. There's some things that needed to be evolved and revamped and all the things. So I need to be more honest in the moment and say, I feel this way. And like I said, I don't need to have all the information. I can say, I'm feeling some kind of way. I don't know what it is. We can talk about it later. But right now, I just want to let you know that, yes, I'm upset. I just don't have the words yet. And that's okay. I think that's more honest, instead of like shutting down, instead of like protecting them from my wrath or protecting them from how I really feel. I think people deserve to know the truth. Like, I want to know the truth because I can tell the moment the moment the atmosphere changes, I know. The moment you take your energy from me, I know. The moment that I know that you don't feel the same way, I know. If you're mad at me, I know. So if you tell me everything is okay, like friends will do that. Like, don't tell me everything is okay. Like I tell my assistant all the time, you're gonna tell me you had a bad day with words, or I'm gonna know anyway. So you might as well tell me so I know how we can proceed. But don't not tell me because I already know, right? So people already know something's up. You might, if I don't know what it is, I can say that and say, yeah, something is up. I'm still trying to figure it out. Just give me a moment and I'll figure it out, right? And the last one that I will share today is that I didn't know that I could show my vulnerability. I didn't know how. So I would just put my guards up, like, oh, no, not showing you that. That's too precious. That's just too delicate. I'm too delicate, and I am delicate. But then when you guard yourself, then you don't let people in, so you don't get to receive and you don't get to share. And I think my vulnerability is beautiful. I think it's one of the things that makes me me. I think it makes me a really good coach. It makes me someone that can really get close with people that have been hurt. I've been hurt in so many different ways. And I think those lessons have been beautiful because they have molded me into who I am and made me very sensitive. Like I would cry. I could cry over, I don't know, a life insurance commercial. I cried the other day. Have you seen the commercial, the little video of the kid that, I don't know, he's like 2 years old and he's got a little brother. He goes to the hospital and he's like, you're my best friend in the whole wide world. I'm like, waterworks. It's such a cute little video. I don't even like babies, okay? And it was so cute. So that's me. So I guess I can say at 49, I am learning to embrace all who Kat is. And I am learning to have forgiveness for myself. I'm also taking accountability in the places where I needed to take accountability. And I don't think I'm late. I think I'm arriving at this aha moments, at these decisions, at this understanding of myself at the right time, as I am embarking on this enhanced way of sharing my gifts and talents, embracing that my packaging might be different, but at the end of the day, I'm still me. I'm still that sassy girl from the DR. I'm still that person that has an opinion about having an opinion. I'm still a God's girl. I'm just less rigid about it. I'm just more. I'm just more. So as I celebrate myself, my accomplishments, my letdowns, everything that has brought me to this day, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Because if you're watching and listening to this, it means that you're doing the work. You are on the quest. You are trying to do you better. You are trying to let go of things that no longer serve you. And hopefully my excitement about getting older excites you about celebrating the gift of life. Because you being alive, my friend, it's a freaking gift. It is incredible. Some people did not make it today. You and I are here. And the fact that I get to do my work, whenever I help someone, whether I'm using my somatics or sound healing or hypnosis, and I combine all my medicine together, and now with all the other goodies that I'm adding to it, I'm just blown away by the fact that I get to do that. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I get to do that. I'm just really grateful that I get to be me. I get to be me, flaws and all, and that I get to share my gifts and talents, that I get to grow and I get to discover areas of myself that I left behind a long time ago, and I get to pick them up and say, hey, you're special. It's okay. You can cry. You can be sensitive. You can ask for help. You can fumble it. You can go back and ask for a mulligan and say, listen, I didn't say that right, but I need help. Or you know what? I was a jerk. Or I lied. I didn't tell you how I felt, and I'm sorry. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And this is 49 for me. And I am so happy. I'm so happy that everything happened the way it happened. It needed to happen that way, like Peter Crone said. Otherwise, it would have happened in a different way. So we're here. I'm alive and well, kind of. Kind of. But I'm embracing myself. I'm embracing this version of myself. I'm embracing my roots. I reconnected with my island. My last trip was so healing. And I am embracing the fact that I'm helping other people by sharing more of my journey, by sharing more of how my faith has evolved, how my relationship with God has evolved, and how I get to help healers, how I embrace my own medicine and how I bring it to the world. And it's okay. It's okay to be different. I've been different my whole entire life. What's gonna be different now about me being different? I'm embracing it. I'm saying, yep, you got it. You girl is different and you are different, and I'm okay with that. But if you're not okay with it, that is okay, my friend. You get to be wrong. Okay, not wrong, but you get to have your own opinion. And maybe it is the wrong opinion, I don't know. But you get to think whatever you think. You don't have to watch, you don't have to listen. But those that want to, those that are excited about this next level, there is a next level for us that are sensitive and have been through the ringer. There was a reason why, my friend. You are special. You are called to share who you are in with your own flair, with your own medicine. Please don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. You are incredible. I'm telling you, I meet so many of you, and I'm like in awe of how beautiful people are. I am in awe of when I'm seen by someone. Like the other day, what was it? Sunday. The other day, somebody left me a message and she saw me. And I was like, that was such a moment for me, because we just kind of met. We haven't been friends for that long. But the fact that she could see me, and she gave me like this appreciation voice note. First of all, I love a voice note. I love a voice note. And in words of affirmation. Love words of affirmation. Do it for me. So to be seen as I am, when I'm learning to show people who I really am, to show them all the multiple layers, and to be okay with the outcome, whether they get it or not, whether they approve or not, whether they realize who I am, the real me, aside from everything else, the real me, and they get it and appreciate it. That's why I'm excited about turning 49. That's why I'm excited about what I'm doing today, because life gets better when you let go of the facades, when you let go of what they would say, they, wherever they are, when you let go of what will it get me, and you embrace getting yourself, when you realize that you need to love yourself first so you can love others even better. That is what it's all about. So thank you for allowing me, for indulging in this self-celebration, and also telling on myself. I'm okay with that, because I know it helps others. I know it's so easy to share all these great things are happening, but then we don't share the muck. We don't share how we got there and how we fumbled it many times. And I don't think that helps anybody. I learned from people that share the in-between journey and how they got to where they are and how they're getting to where they want to be. That interests me. So that's you, when you're like, Kat, I need more of that. Then I'm going to invite you to get the 21-day reset and to join me over my school community, because I'm going to show up as authentically as I possibly can. And that gets better every single day. Sometimes I have a little bit of a cha-cha-cha, a couple steps forward, a couple steps back, but it all adds up in the end. And it's a beautiful thing. So thanks so much for watching. Please know that I love you, that I'm rooting for you, and your girl is getting older and hopefully wiser, if not sillier. And that works.